I've been bass fishing for over 20 years, and I cut my teeth on power fishing. When I'm talking power fishing, we're talking medium heavy rods, heavy duty braid between 30 and 65 pounds, and of course, bait casters. Things have changed though, and they've changed dramatically, not in just the 10 years, but the last 5 years specifically. Nobody used spinning rods except for walleye guides when I was coming up through the ranks, and now it's an important part of every bass fisherman's rigs. We have a lot of factors going on right now. Obviously, every year technology gets better. We've got down imaging, we've got side imaging, but most importantly, we've got forward-facing sonar. Let's pause right there and let's talk about the other factors. We've got a ton of pressure. Bass fishing has exploded across the nation, especially in our youth. We're getting so much pressure on our lakes. With invasive species these days, especially the zebra mussels, a lot of our lakes that were typically turbid are very, very clear right now. So you've got clear water and high pressure with different vegetation, sometimes lacking in a lot of it, so their structure really becomes important, more importantly than vegetation. Here comes the finesse fishing. So we've got spinning tackle, we've got light line, you're running fluorocarbon, you're running mono, and you've got the forward-facing sonar, right? You've got these fish that are moving offshore because of the lack of vegetation plus the clarity, so they're going deeper and or they're finding structure. What do? You gotta chase after them with something that has a much more realistic presentation. This is what we're talking about, the AKA sissy stick. So this is a medium rod, super sensitive. I've got it paired with braid, super high vis braid actually. And you say, what? Didn't we just say that water clarity is increasing? I've got it paired though with a fluorocarbon leader. So this gives me the ability to have super sensitivity without being actually seen, and it's super tiny. Look how little this is. Obviously, this bait cannot be thrown on a bait caster with 45-pound braid. This is actually one of my favorite finesse lures. This is a weighted wacky rig Senko. Here's another example of an ultra finesse rig. It's called a Ned rig. Super small little jig head, different size, different color worms. Here again, perfectly thrown and paired with a spinning reel. If you're a smallmouth fisherman, then you know what this rig is. If you're not and you're new to it, it's a marabou. So this predominantly catches the heck out of smallmouth bass, but also works for largemouth bass. And don't tell anybody, it works for walleye too. This little thing, you can be tipped with a small little plastic at the end, or it can be left as it is awesome in the water. It imitates a bug hatch, it imitates leeches. Whatever it's imitating, the bass love though, because it's absolute bacon for bass. Last, but definitely not least, this is one of the favorites up here in the Midwest. It's a 3-inch split tail. What we lovingly refer to is a fluke. The great part about this is you can pair it with different weight and size jig heads. It is super versatile. So you can cast this out, you can swim it back, you can jig it back, you can mope it, and you can suspend it. Paired with the spinning reel, it's super deadly for not only largemouth, but smallmouth. If you would have told me 10 years ago that I have just as many spinning combos as I do bait casting combos in my arsenal, I'd tell you that you're a liar. But the truth of the matter is, if you don't have them, you're definitely missing out. You gotta be versatile in this day and age and keep up with the climate, the technology, and your surrounding situations.